Hey every pony, Starryflame here, and happy Halloween month! I'm a bat. So this isn't really going to be a scary video or anything. I want to go into why I find Fluttershy to be my favorite of the main six. Basically, one of my friends and I have a bit of a banter about her, since she thinks she's absolutely useless and I don't. So I want to give her a fighting chance. The reason she's my favorite is because I can relate to her the most. I mean, I had shyness problems where I'd stare at the ground instead of talking to people. I didn't talk much to people as a kid, and as a teen, sure, I would talk a lot. But only to people I trusted, like my mom. I took shyness lessons in high school, and it helped enough that I've had to bring it back a little and not stare at them eye to eye. I've seen people back away when I've done that. So yeah, anyways, here's my review on her character. So in season 1 we see she's shy. She's only willing to talk to Spike at first instead of Twilight. Now, as an animal person, I see this as something we all do when we see, when we see pet owners and their pets. As horrible as that sounds, I'm sorry, Spike. I'm not saying Spike is Twilight's pet, but you know what I mean. He's a baby animal who's being looked after by a carer of a different species, and also Equestria Girls doesn't help since Spike is a dog there, and Fluttershy does exactly what I said. This doesn't make her useless, it's just one thing that ties to me. I usually address, say, a dog before their owner. As much as it pains me to say it, it does become annoying to see her shyness become her defining characteristic at times. But there are times when she does break through, like in Dragonshy. Her friends are in trouble, and she decides to sort of stand up for herself by treating the dragon like any other. I guess she had an adrenaline surge. Maybe hanging around with Spike for however long the other 6 episodes took helped her a little. I do kind of wonder why she didn't do anything when Applejack was clearly scaring the bunnies though in Applebuck's season. Blind trust isn't always a good thing. We see her try to be assertive in Sonic Rainbow, though she takes it a little too far. Not really cruel to be kind there, and that irked me when I saw it the first time. You can see how worried she is at the beginning, but she doesn't consider Rainbow's feelings all the time in the episode. Most of season 1 gave me this odd impression about Fluttershy purely on she's either too shy or that. Sorry, it's just how I feel, and I do understand I'm not helping Fluttershy just yet. Hey, I need to address the flaws first before I get to the good stuff. We do see her actually have a backbone 1 episode later. Though she doesn't really have it straight away. She has the stare. I'd love to see a backstory about how she had it. If she'd always had it, or maybe just one day she used it on some pony by accident. I mean, we saw it sort of in Dragonshy, but we didn't know that's what it was. As Silverquill would say, continuity. It's a good thing. Particularly, I find it when you're not expecting it. Little references make me chuckle sometimes. Anyways, I'm gonna jump to season 2. The way Fluttershy handles Discord. Now, Discord's my favorite villain. Come on, if you know me, I'm a troll at heart. Discord is turning the world upside down here for the lulz. Now, he's not doing anything major that could be super dangerous. Immediately. Yeah, you can't tell what's safe to eat, walk on, live on, yada yada yada, but the way Fluttershy handles them here, she's scared by the unknown, sure. But she comes face to face, well, sort of face to face with Discord. She doesn't find talking butterflies with antlers to be threatening, and she has the uttermost trust in her friends. True, I didn't like how she described herself being weak and helpless, but she is sort of, to the extent where she doesn't like to fight, but she'll grow. In putting your hoof down, we see some more development from Fluttershy, a minor roller coaster of her finding the balance of where is the right level of assertiveness. You don't want to be so assertive that you find yourself mean to everyone and are too afraid to look in the mirror, but you don't want to be a doormat. Personally, at the end of the episode, I reckon she should have paid half since it worked, or at least worked to a point. Maybe giving him something of compensation, maybe shouting something from the stall, I don't know. That part just felt wrong. Next episode to talk about is Hurricane Fluttershy. We learn here she was bullied, no surprise there, to the point she has paranoia, or... Think about this episode with me. I have a similar thing where I feel people staring at me. The eyes you feel on you, it's not a nice feeling. Feeling like they're judging you for every little thing you do. I don't panic like she does. I just feel very uncomfortable. But unlike me, she's overcome it. How many people out there can say they've overcome such a stressful situation that leaves you hyperventilating? I'm sure there are probably a lot of you, and yay, good for you! But for timid Fluttershy, it's a moment for her that she overcame and was able to help her friends out, even if they didn't make a record. Jumping to Season 3, we see Fluttershy and the Crystal Emperor helping to put on a show. A show! In front of strangers! We don't see how big that would be from Season 1 Fluttershy to this, even if she freezes up, but that could just be because of the danger of jousting, because they're horses, then you might need to get your eyes checked. We see little by little how she overcomes her shyness, which is great! Even though on Keep Calm and Flutter on Dead Earth Me, because it felt quite like a fanfiction written with characters being largely out of character, it is an important one to address. We see the trust Celestia either has for her, or, well, Celestia guilting her into looking after Discord. Not sure which one it is, seeing as the great Sunbutt leaves pronto. Probably has to go tend to a cake party or something. Flutter's best princess! So, anyways, Discord is free and the stare doesn't work on him. In fact, he mocks it. Gary Sue confirmed. Fluttershy stays kind to him and gives him the benefit of the doubt each time he does something. And we don't think the gravy pot was such a horrible thing. Maybe Fluttershy could have called him out on some of the things so she didn't look like she was naive. But that kind of works later. I'm not sure. But basically, Discord realizes how much he needs a friend and how lonely life could be to truly lose one. And basically, you're only one. And then we get him saying the line!
Alright, friendship is magic.
Yeah, look sheepish, Celestia. Blech. Season 4. Bats. You knew I'd talk about this. Basically, they should have considered what the animal expert knows. Or, I don't know, look in one of the books you have in the library, Twilight, since you were looking for a spell to fix it. God, these poor bats would have starved if you cast the spell right. Seriously. Or maybe it could have been a parasite situation where they don't eat the food, but something else. You're lucky it wasn't blood. Anyways, Fluttershy... Well, she agrees, but only because she put the lives of other ponies first. As an animal person, I know that's a tough call. You don't want to endanger the animals you want to protect. And yet, even if there is other food available or other solutions, did you guys even consider that? She made the call to help. Once again, a stare happens. Really would like to know the true origin of that. And due to the spell, we get this. Yup. She's so cute though! And we get out some footage! And then they finally listen to her. Took you long enough, AJ. I don't agree with how none of them were willing to listen to Fluttershy, and were all on board straight away with Applejack. Even if Pinkie didn't seem to take any of it seriously, she could have backed up Fluttershy more. I don't begrudge any of them, or the writer though. Alrighty, next is Rainbow Falls. Look how cute she is with Bulk. I don't ship them, but they're really cute together. And she's willing to give up her medals to Rainbow Dash. Now, if it's the equivalent of the Olympic Games, you know how much those are worth, money-wise and personal value. But she knew it would make Rainbow Dash happy. See, she can be a good friend. Just as long as she didn't, accidentally make her feel bad with what could happen if it really gets really bad. No! In Philly Vanilli, this episode, we learn what we all knew. Stage fright. Of course, not surprised. And yet, she perseveres. Enough that by the end, she's singing in front of an audience of animals. But she even agrees. Baby steps. And you've certainly been stepping up little by little. Now we come to her story with the Breezies. We see her encouraging her friends to cheer softly. A nice little reference to the loud cheering. You know. Continue, I'll stop. We see her jump to the rescue, which is good at the time, bad later. They become too reliant on her, and she becomes an enabler. More than normal, but not on her own fault. It's an equal mix of the Breezy's lying and guilting her, and her being gullible and her knowledge of them being delicate working against her, as well as her thinking they're adorable. They're cute, but not that cute. A fact they bring up a lot in this episode. Boy, you could do a drinking game with that. Or a ding counter each time of the episode they show them being cute or saying it. You'd probably end up drunk, so I don't encourage it. But she came to an understanding that they need to go. They can't survive there. Even if she does make a safe area for them, they can't live there. They are needed at home. So she shows them the door and tells them to get out. The trueness of cruel to be kind. Tough love, baby. Another step forward to character growth for her. Now, Treja. We see her be a pushover again, in the name of a book. But she was willing to sacrifice her time, maybe her life, over for a little while, I'd hope, to see her friend happy. Thankfully, Rainbow Dash immediately realizes her error and fixes it. But seriously, bad Rainbow Dash. No. You do not sell your friend for a book. Bad. Now we jump to Twilight's Kingdom. We see how much Discord's bond with her improves. That face, though. That face! And he uses the lamp, and a photo of the two of them. He's willing mostly to fight for her out of all of them. He even says so. So you know how much it hurt to see him turn on her. Even using the cucumber sandwiches, which makes her trust him. Then boom! Heartbreak. Why, Discord? Why? Yeah, it was inevitable you'd turn, but turning on Fluttershy was not how I imagined it. You can even tell he didn't want to. And the moment he has with her later. Yeah, the feels. Also, no, I don't ship him. Not in that way. Probably not yet. Season 5, the cutie map. Here we see Fluttershy have line trust. Again. Fluttershy. Sure, it works, but she's happy bubbling along to the tuneless tune of words about lack of individuality. Pinky's got the right idea. However, it works. They trust her. So much, in fact, that they don't even close the curtains when they know she'd be in the house. And can fly. Even if it is more slowly than she flies normally. Though, would she be flying faster than she normally does? And now, for the reason I felt like making this video. Thanks for the memories. Fluttershy ain't having none of your drama, Rainbow. You done goofed so much. And now, we get this job.
Rainbow Dash, your winter is going to be petless.
Look at her! Listen how she said that! Matter of fact. Straight textbook material. And she didn't flinch. Didn't apologize. Well, not straight away anyway. And now, back to Discord. She makes a new friend. He gets jealous. Insanely jealous. And yet, she doesn't back down. She stands up to him. Another step for you, Fluttershy. Do princesses dream of magic sheep? I don't know, but I know Fluttershy dreams of being looked after like she looks after her animals. Though it sparks a few theories from what I've heard from my other tree-time friends. You know who you are. And what they are. Also, we get Flutterbat back! Funny story! I've been wanting Flutterbat back for ages. And then we saw the Bat books in Twilight's Dream. In a reaction I said, I know I said I want Flutterbat back, but this isn't what I meant. So you can imagine my reaction when she appeared. I think I glitched out the mic. And now, speaking of Flutterbat, I bring you more Flutterbat! Only this time it's a cosplay. Fluttershy cosplaying as Flutterbat. It's a cosplay I want to make one day. Cosplayception! We see Fluttershy and the Scaremaster overcoming her fear. And not brilliant. She's not letting her shyness overcome her. Yay! Although we get an awkward scene, she certainly can draw. Look at her anime drawings. And then she breaks out of it and does a good job. Bravo, my dear. Bravo. Now, I saw Flutterbrother not too long ago, and it confused me somewhat. I wondered which outside influence it was that affected Zephyra enough that he could take advantage of his parents like that, since both of them seemed as shy as she was to a point. But they didn't put their hooves down. even though they seemed a little assertive, that they did encourage her not to worry about it. More like avoiding the situation than controlling it. They remind me of the parents you hear who don't resort to spanking and rather use words to guilt the child into submitting. Probably, most likely, gonna get some hate for this, but I don't think that method works. Maybe it does for some, but obviously don't work on Zephyr, because look how he treats them. He literally breaks their items for his selfishness. So now, in this situation, he doesn't pick up or ignores that they feel uncomfortable about the situation, and then guilts them. But Fluttershy had no problem. Oh no. She stands up for her parents. Good girl. Remember, it's one thing to stand up to your enemies, but another to stand up to your friends. Even if that's Dumbledore talking about his students, I feel it also applies to this family. And then she gets to it after he decides to move in with her. She doesn't waste time. She goes out early with him to get him a job. Several jobs, in fact. She lets him tough it out enough that he sees that he needs to make an effort, and then doesn't let him walk out on his dreams, but encourages him. Which he finds, instead of being lazy, he can find pride in his work. Good job! Now for the next episode to talk about is Buckball season. Look how far Fluttershy's come out of her shell. She actually, with a little time, comes up with moves even Rainbow Dash is impressed with. She comes out a better sport player than Rainbow. You know, the one everyone associates as being the tough, sporty girl archetype. Later, she's the one to tell them how much AJ and Rainbow screwed up. And she doesn't clam up and apologize. That speaks volume of how much she's grown. Also, on a random thing, this episode had me chuckling about how it was voice actress against voice actress whilst having a conversation with herself about the other voice actress's characters. The thing about Season 6 is that Fluttershy has stayed true to herself and her element of kindness, as we see her give Flim and Flam the benefit of the doubt in Viva Las Pegasus. Also, finally, someone who actually acknowledges the fact the main six have done things and actually gives a damn. But seriously, they should have picked a different name other than Impossibly Rich. It's like having a name Not Evil Good Pony. I get that they were trying to fail, but seriously. Impossibly Rich. Also, Fluttershy getting information from animals whilst another of the main six is questioning the owners doesn't sound familiar. No, not at all. But we do get sassy Fluttershy again, and Applejack's fee as detective was pretty funny. So, yeah, this is why Fluttershy is my favorite character from the main six. She overcomes her problems, and whilst in the beginning her shyness was a defining trait she had, she does succeed in moving past it to help the ones she cares about. Yes, it's annoying that she withdraws not long after, but hey, Rome wasn't built in a day. From seasons 1 to 3, it's all within, 1 year? So it takes time for things to take effect, which we see slowly appears. She's not useless. She has her moments. So, yeah, thanks for watching my video, and remember, keep your inner flame burning!